Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my April 2024 TBR. So of course, I tried to film this yesterday, and I filmed it, and it was done. And then today, I saw an announcement video for a readathon that I really want to take part in that came out like 3 weeks ago, and how I didn't see it, I don't have a clue. Anyway, point is that I'm going to take part in a readathon I wasn't planning on until today. So most of the books that I was already planning to read fit onto this readathon. So I thought, hey, what the heck? We'll just do it. What the heck? But I do have 2 books first that I'm going to buddy read. So these are not technically part of the readathon, although they can definitely work for it. The first buddy read I'm doing is Forbidden Nights with a Vampire by Carolyn Sparks. This one I'm doing, this is the Love at Stake series, vampire series that I'm reading with Berna at Berna's Bookish Adventures. And so this is book 7. I'm really looking forward to this. These are 2 characters that we've heard about before. I'm kind of curious on how this is going to go. So I'm looking forward to that. We're doing that early in the month. And then I'm also doing The Rose Garden by Susanna Kearsley with Tia at Genres and Journals. And we're going to buddy read this one. So I have read several Susanna Kearsley's, but this is one of the older ones that I have not gotten to. And I just keep putting it off, and I just want to get it done. And I saw it was on her, I think it's her spring TBR. I just saw it on her and said, hey, we could read that one. So we're going to read that sometime this month. So again, it's a TBR vet. You know, it's been on my TBR for quite a while. I'd really like to read more of Susanna Kearsley, of the books I own. So we're going to read that. So I'm really excited about both of those. But the readathon that I'm doing is, those can technically work in it. I'm going to do the TBR Clear Out by Katie at Books and Things. So I will have her video linked down below. So this I missed completely. I didn't know she was doing it until today. So, and again, this video will go up in another day or so, but I wanted to work on series and on books that are on my TBR because I've been rereading a lot. And so I was trying to get myself motivated to read new books or books that I have not read before off my TBR. And I thought, oh, I'll do a series month or something, you know. But her TBR Clear Out has a couple of prompts. And mostly it's just reading books off of your TBR to get down how many books that you own, you know. Like, I mean, again, it's just a month. It's not like I'm going to make that much progress. But, you know, I'd like to, I said, read books that I own off my shelf. I don't want to use the library much this month. I've been using it a little bit too much. And, again, I always feel obligated to read the library books. So I want to not, I have one library book that might show up, but I might be able to push that to May to actually read it. So we'll see, because it's at the end of the month, but we'll see. But overall, the only time I'm going to use the library this month is if I get an audiobook for something of a book I already own, or something like that. So, but I have 6 books physically that I'm going to talk about here. But the first prompt actually of this is to set your goal, your TBR Clear Out goal for the month. And again, it takes place all through April. And I'm going to set it at 10. I want to at least read 10 books off my TBR because the last couple of months I haven't made it because I've been rereading so much. So I'm going to put 10, even though I read way more books than that in a month. I've been rereading so much that, you know, only a few of those have been new books to me. So I'm going to do that. So my goal is 10. So with my 2 buddy reads and the 6 books I have here, that is already 8 books. And then again, I'm a mood reader, so we'll see what happens. So anyway, prompt number 2 is to read a book that's been on your TBR a long time. And I'm going to put Imprudence by Gail Carriger. This is book 2 in the Custard Protocol series. Yeah, I did say that right. I have had this book since 2016. It is even signed from when it came out because I went and saw her for a signing. I'm still just stunned. Anyway, I haven't got to this. I have read Prudence book 1, I think multiple times to get myself to read more of the series, but I always get distracted. And even this time, this last year I read Prudence expecting to read all there's a 4-book series with a lot of novellas. And I just want to get through book 2 at least to get myself farther into the series. This is a historical steampunk fantasy with, you know, vampires and shifters and other things, and we're following Prue, who has some magical powers of her own that she's able to strip other creatures of their supernatural power and use them for a time. I really enjoy the humor in these books, and it's just fun. This is the second generation from the Parasol Protectorate. These are the kids of all the characters in those books. I just need to read this series so that I can continue and finish out all the novellas that come around this. But book 2 has been on my TBR way too long, and I am going to read that for prompt number 2. Prompt number 3 is a book that's been on your TBR a short time. I would really like to read The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson. This is a werewolf fake dating romance. So I think they're two doctors who she has her grandmother trying to putting her on really bad blind dates, trying to get her mated. And then he is an alpha who has been kind of hiding it, and now I think it gets exposed, and he needs a mate in order to show that he's stable and can keep his job, I think. Something like that. Sounds fun. I've heard good things about this, and I'd really like to read this. So this one I've only had it for a few months, and I want to read that really bad. So I wanted to put that on this. Prompt number 4 is, what is it? A book, one of the longest books on your TBR. So this isn't technically one of the longest books on my TBR. It's one of the books that I wanted to put on my April TBR anyway. It was the longest, well, one of the longest. But I want to put it on this TBR somewhere because I want to make myself read this, and that is The Ashes and the Star Cursed King by Carissa Broadman. This is book 2 in the Nightborn duet of and the overall series is called The Crowns of Nyaxia. So this is going to be a series of duologies. And this is the second book, the one following Serpent and the Wings of Night. So I've read that and the 6 Scorched Roses, which I really enjoyed both of those. Well, the Serpent and the Wings of Night was just fantastic. So it was such an explosive ending, and I did not continue when I could have. I could have done it right afterwards. I think it's been almost a year since I read that. So I want to make sure I read this to finish at least the duology out this month. That's kind of my hope. So even though it's not technically the longest book of everything I own, it's the longest of the books that I for sure want to hit in April. I'm going to go with that. And then number 5 is the shortest book, one of your shortest books on your TBR, and that is What Feasts at Night by T. Kingfisher. This is book 2. Oh, I don't know what the series name is, but it follows the same main character as What Moves the Dead, I believe. So I don't know anything about this. I bought this pretty much on a whim just because I really liked What Moves the Dead. So we will see what happens. I don't know what it is really about. So it's some gothic tale. I think the character goes home and something's wrong. I don't know. Beyond that, no idea. Number 6 is to read a book that you fear that you're losing interest in. So I'm going to put Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne. This is a cozy fantasy steeped with love series. I have had this for over a year because I bought this. This is a self-pub book that got picked up that's going to be traditionally published in May, and I want to know if I want to buy those versions. So I need to try this to know if I want to read this series. But this is following 2 people who in this kingdom, I think they have some kind of, one's a mage and one's, I think, one of the guards for the queen, I think, or something. And something happens, and I don't know what happens. I think I'm afraid to read it because I had some books that say they're like legends and lattes, but they really didn't feel that way. They were different. I mean, some was good that they were different. That's not a problem. It's just, I don't know. I'm worried about this one. So I do want to read this month because I want to know if I want to buy the traditionally published version and continue the series. So we'll see. So that's why I'm not sure about that one. I hope it's not a DNF, but you never know. And then the last prompt is a book that you're really excited for. And that is Bride by Allie Hazelwood. I've heard so many good things about this. I mean, I've heard some mixed things. There are some people who really despise this, but I am a paranormal urban fantasy reader. I really love werewolves and vampires. I really want to read this. So I put it on here, so I will make sure I read it in April. I'm just excited because this is, I think, a forced marriage between a vampire and a werewolf, and I'm excited. Anyway, so, but this is, again, another book I really want to read. So those are all the ones that are for sure on my TBR. Who knows what I'll actually read? The only 2 books that I will, like, for sure read are my buddy reads, because I have obligations for those. Everything else is just maybe. But I do want to try to read off my shelves this month, in April, and I'm going to try. I mean, I'm probably going to be rereading. I'm probably going to keep reading the Guild Hunter series, rereading that series by Nalini Singh. I think it's the 16th book. I'm sure. I've lost track of how many books there are in that series, but I think number 16 comes out the last week of April. I probably will read that as soon as I physically have that. So that could happen at the end of the month. But other than that, everything else, so I might be rereading that series some early part of the month, but I'm hoping to be reading books that are off my TBR for the rest of the month. We'll see how it goes. I have a couple other series that I'm kind of want to reread and also get back into, so we'll see how I feel. But I do really want to read books physically that I own. Again, I could always get audiobooks from my library if I feel that, or ebooks, if whatever I need to do, but I don't want to buy any more books, but I have a few pre-orders coming in. Anyway, I'm probably just rambling here. Let's just put this way, is I'm going to try to read stuff off my shelf. If they're part of series, that's even better, but there's a few, standalones that I want to read. So we'll see what happens. I'm really excited to have kind of a readathon going on in April that I wasn't planning on, but hey, I need to read some books off my shelf, since I will be going to at least 2 library book sales in April. I won't be spending a lot of money, but I might buy some books. So I should really knock some books off my shelves. If not, I'm going to have to do a purge to make room for more stuff, because I'm kind of full up. So that's it. Let me know what you guys are reading in April, or if any of these books you think I definitely need to read, and definitely make sure I get to those, or anything that you're looking forward to, or let me know what readathons you're taking part in April. I know there are quite a few that are happening. But I'm really glad I found this one at the last minute. So thanks to Katie, again, for putting this on. This will be fun. Anyway, me and Cooper, we'll see you later. Bye.